Welcome back. I'm confident that everyone watching this is familiar with English paper piecing, but what Mary Elizabeth is doing really takes it to another level, and it's all about the fabric, right?
It is all about the fabric. You will see your stash in an entirely different way once you start playing around.
Well, I want to take a look at some of these blocks that are just single little blocks that you have. To me, this is kind of how they look. Is there anything extraordinary going on here that you would say?
It's a little bit, I call it intuitive, or not intuitive cutting, inspired cutting. And because fussy cutting is too scary a word, and it's inspired because you're going to have so much energy afterwards. You just start pulling through your fabrics and seeing what else could be done.
Yeah, so let's just talk about this one right now, with the way the stripes all march together.
And stripes can go any number of ways. They can go across, they can go up and down and be radiating spires out. They can go on a diagonal and spin. Stripes are best friend for this type of.
And right now, you're just getting started, right?
I am.
Okay, because look at this, everyone. Wait till you get a close-up on this.
And that's what happens when you enter diamonds into the pattern with the hexagons. You can also put squares. English paper piecing isn't just about hexagons. I know they're really popular right now, but there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, but also look at this, the detail, the way the center is, and then the little flowers in here. It's like ooh la la, right?
It is. It's not your grandmother's flower garden.
No, it's not. No, it is not my grandma's flower garden. That is the truth. Now, down here you have a completed quilt, and it's my understanding you have a couple favorite blocks.
I do have two favorites. Well, it's like your kids. You don't want to have a favorite. But
but you can do it.
I know, I can.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. It's an unpredictable. When I put that in, I had no idea that it would be, and a lot of those blocks were really surprises for me when I was putting them together, just to see what happened when you put the two edges together and the secondary patterns that developed.
But make no mistake, you made sure that every single little circle, you know, was centered and fussy cut and all that good stuff, right?
And that's how the patterns happen.
Yeah, and then this one down here is pretty extraordinary too. Down here.
It's amazing.
Yes, and that was just simply by getting the feathers in the right position and all that?
That was exactly it. And it's, again, it's where they join together in the sides that makes the pattern more spectacular.
I want to have the camera come over here. I like this with the bug in the middle of it. That alone, it says something wonderful to me, right?
Yeah, and there's another little bug right
Oh, another little bug here too. Okay, so you will teach us how to do English paper piecing.
Yes.
But I think it's really important to talk about the fabric and everything you're thinking about. So this is that one that happens to be your favorite right here, right?
Exactly.
So tell us about it.
This one, what I did was I isolated a section, just a section of the flower. Left a little bit of green in to create some interest around the edge, but what I wanted to have were the centers all congregating in the middle to really give it power.
Yep. Now this one, let's look at the fabrics first before we show them the payoff, okay? So you've got, tell us about this.
A stripe, and I like also the movement that happened in it with the waves that are happening as well. So it meant that when it's put in, I could see it's really flaring out a bit more.
Okay.
More movement.
And this?
Oh, and that one,
Beautiful.
That one I love. And again, it was isolating elements so that I could get a more direction and more movement in the piece. And that's the quieter one. Sometimes you need to have a quieter one that just sits back and lets the others be the hero.
So, do you guys want to see? Okay. So here's the center, right? I'm going to put it on the table so we can get an overhead shot of it, okay? So explain there with the fabric.
This one was cut from this segment right here, this area. And these little threes can be put together to be spacers if you're having a larger motif and you want to have something around the side. And so that's why I put them together. And I just wanted a really tight
But look at
design.
this, from the same fabric.
Same fabric. So I have 6 of these, and they're going to play a game with that block right there.
Okay.
So this fabric is the one from the center. You can take these and put it on the end and to make just more of a lozenge if that's what you wanted to do.
Oh.
You can use them as spacers right here if you were doing a larger thin quilt. Or you can make more of a star-shaped flower.
And how big are these? 1 inch?
1 inch.
Okay.
You can make more of a star-shaped flower doing that.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Primarily, are these all reproduction prints, would you say?
They are.
Okay. So let's move on. This is good stuff. This is making me look at my collection of my late 1800 prints very, very differently.
And there's something wonderful about the earlier prints. It was an 1830s quilt that actually inspired me and how to look at the fabrics in a different way.
Okay. So tell us about this.
This one again is it's a direction, what I call a directional, and it's done with print. And I wanted to isolate again a certain segment. I wanted to try and keep the brown and the red to see what would happen when I put them together in the.
Look at that, everyone.
And it's an experiment. Every time you do it, it's an experiment. But boy, is it fun because.
I mean, look at
develops.
that. It's just like makeup that's been perfectly applied, right?
Exactly.
Okay, this seems a little more traditional, but great care. I'm gonna go like this. Has been taken.
I wanted to play with the lozenge shape on this one, and when you do a lozenge, you have to, because you can have things that very much radiate in or out or play with just the center area.
Say that word again. Lozenge?
Lozenge.
What's that?
That's what I call the shape. That's what I learned it's called, is a lozenge.
Oh, this whole shape here. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's
Keep going.
okay.
Thanks.
And so I wanted to play more delicately with the ends so that they still played well together with the rest of it.
Okay. I think I would like your fabric collection.
I think you would too.
Yes. All
I
right.
think I would like yours.
And that's that one.
That's my favorite one. If I had to go back to the village and have them make a dress for me working there again, this is the fabric I would pick. I love this fabric. And it's actually a very subtle stripe in the print in the background. And I wanted to isolate the leaves again. But I wanted to make sure that I could play with just the gentle curve in that inner flower to just create a very gentle swirl starting to happen on the outside.
Oh, it's just beautiful. Do you guys just love this? Yeah. Whew. Okay. Ooh, wait till you see this one.
This is not one you'd expect to work, I didn't think, at first into that, but you can get, it has such dynamism. Is that the word? Dynamic movement? We'll
With
go
me,
that.
you can say any word
Good.
you want, and I will adopt it to my language.
Good, thank
okay.
you. The two of us will go
Yes.
forth.
Yes. So it's fabulosus.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right, here we go. Now these little dots. Wow, there's care taken there.
I love just the inner flower on this one with the whole design. That's why I liked, you can get that quite a bit, actually, and I just think it's fun and delicate and sweet.
Okay, now you are kind of also all about stripes, right?
Directionals are so important to incorporate into a quilt because they give it movement.
All
And
right.
that's why I like to use them, because they add life to the
I
quilt.
wouldn't have not thought of this as a directional. I don't even know what a directional is, but I think of this as a stripe. Is a directional more than a stripe?
Yes, because things like this are also to me a directional.
Okay.
And the direction is created with the print.
Okay.
As opposed to having definitive lines.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Oh man,
And that's
love
also
this.
a directional.
Okay.
The zigzag.
So you look at this and you go, oh baby, I can just see lots of ways you could be cut
No
up.
kidding.
Okay.
I'll have a quarter yard of that, a quarter yard of that.
Right, well yeah, you don't need more than that with the size of these things, right?
And that is what we think more traditionally of as a directional.
Okay, great.